You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, ladies and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a happy Halloween, because I'm recording this on Halloween morning. Actually going to be conducting an interview that's going to correspond with this review here in a few hours. But I've got a review for this latest documentary, which is called The Spirit of Halloween Town, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the trailer for this. I was just like, okay, let's see how this goes. But just based off of the concept, I was like, I'm excited about this. This documentary is directed by Bradford Thomason and Brett Whitcomb, and what's so endearing about this documentary, so y'all know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you grew up with the Halloween Town films that Disney made, the Disney original films. I've seen Halloween Town. I've seen it like once or twice. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I definitely have checked it out. And what intrigued me about this documentary is why the hell is this a thing? Because clearly, just from context clues, it's about a town that's going to go ahead and basically turn into Halloween Town this time of year, every October. And so the interesting bit was going to be like how we're going to get there, like why do they do this, et cetera, et cetera. And what I found myself really actually surprised by, in the best way, is how personal this documentary is. Because while it is talking about this town in Oregon, which is definitely a large part of it, it is going ahead. St. Helens, Oregon, is the name of the city. A town of about like 15,000, less than 20,000 people. I believe I looked it up. I want to say it was like 13,000 people, something like that. It's not a ton of people in this town. It's a small ass town, but every year they go ahead and they do this Halloween Town celebration, and over a couple weeks they go ahead and transform this town into Halloween Town. So what's interesting is the dynamics in terms of what that entails. So this documentary, it's talking about not just the town itself, but about the people who go ahead and inhabit said town, and how most people are like, hell yeah, we love this, it's fucking great. And then of course there is always one Karen who is quite shitty about about the town turning into Halloween Town, and why she's not a fan of it in any way, shape, or form. So the start of this documentary, we actually go ahead and open up with this gentleman, and he's straight up asked, a lot of people think the town is haunted. Do you believe that? And he straight up just looks right at the camera and goes, I don't want to discuss that on camera. And the moment he said that, I was like, all right, cool. I'm never going to visit this I'm never going to visit this town. Fuck and that. But it really does a good job of setting the tone of the fact that this town does have some history of some shit happening. As we get more into the documentary, we actually do find out that there's a shocking amount of evidence in terms of that the town might not just be haunted, which I believe it is. After watching the documentary, you will look at this town differently. I will simply say that. We end up meeting this guy, Darren Scholl, I believe is how you say his last name, and he's a paranormal investigator. And y'all know me. You know how much shit I give white people for wanting to do ghost hunting, and my God, why do you do that? But what I will say about this guy, as much shit as I would give him to his face, he has at least made his tattoos, his body, like a tribute to what he loves to do. Like he has tattoos for all these different paranormal experiences that he's had, including this one conversation about this one tattoo about experience he has at the Tiger Demon House, which fuck that. I could not run out of that house quickly fucking enough. And but I really like the way that they integrate the paranormal stuff in with his own journey. And it's actually really interesting, all the ghost hunting elements. Again, why do you do that? But I really like what they did with him. There's this other gentleman in the documentary who owns this new this kind of town this town institution called the Klondike Bar, and he is from Portland, if memory serves correctly, and he ends up going ahead and moving to St. Helens. And he talks about the aspects of the town, like dealing with an outsider, and how this town has had generations of people staying there, for 3, 4, 5 generations and more, and how the town is very hesitant to outsiders and people who don't have history of the town. So the fact that he went ahead and bought this institution in terms of restaurant, how there are people who are pushing back against that, and the fact that he also is gay, and so you have that small town mentality. You have people being gossipy bitches, as they often are in small towns. I can say that growing up in fucking Pismo Beach. So you have those people who are being gossipy. You have those people who are being homophobic, who just straight up don't want him there because of who he chooses to date. And so it does get into like some of the social ramifications of a small town, and that's before we even get to the Halloween Town stuff. And that's something that I really do have to give the directors a lot of credit for, because they're interweaving a lot of this stuff in, and yet it never feels like off base. It never feels like it shouldn't be happening. It always feels like organic, and you're just like, oh, okay, like that's actually really clever and really cool, the way that they're going ahead and going about this. So I don't want to give everything obviously about the documentary away, but we are introduced to a woman in here who goes ahead and plays the Queen of Halloween Town. And without getting too much into it, her motivation for why she wants to play and is playing the Queen of Halloween Town is something that broke my heart, but was like weirdly inspirational too, because as most art does, some art, I won't say most art, but where a lot of art obviously comes from pain and anguish and trying to use it to get over something. She's been handed a really rough hand, and she's using this role and her importance of this role in this yearly tradition to go ahead and help herself out, help her self-worth. And I won't lie, y'all, I teared up because one of the things that happened to her, I mean, fuck it, I can talk about it, why not? She lost a parent and she lost her job, and they happened like in very close proximity to each other. And I've talked about losing my dad, and the way that she talks about how being the Queen of Halloween Town gives her worth, and it allows her to kind of try to push through these things and to go ahead and have a reason to move forward. It's incredibly powerful stuff, and it was something that definitely caught me off guard in the best way, in terms of really relating not just to her, but really cheering her on and cheering the town on. On the complete 180 flip, on the other side of the coin, there is this Karen who is. So you remember? I don't know if y'all. For those of you who grew up in church, you remember how churches would do a Halloween party, but they call it a fall festival? She's one of those people. She's one of those people where it's like, this is Satan's birthday, and oh my God, how dare this town profit off of. How dare this town profit off of Satan's birthday? Because Christianity has never twisted things to has never twisted things to make a profit. The Karen in the town, I'm gonna be real, y'all. Like, if kids stole her guitar and smashed it, I would have cheered. I probably would have paid the kids to do it, because quite frankly, the way this woman is coming at certain people, it's like, okay, like that's really dumb. And she even has this monologue. She kind of goes on about how this demon went ahead and like came into her home and like tried to suppress her voice, which, you know, demon might have been doing us a favor. And how she's talking about like the astral plane, like she's making it sound like a fucking Doctor Strange, like a Doctor Strange boss battle. And but she really is just one of these people who's like, I don't like this Halloween Town shit, and it's demonic and it goes against God and yada yada yada. Now, the one point I could at least see having some validity is, I would imagine having the town, you know, parts of the town shut down and streets blocked off. I'd imagine that's annoying. I mean, yeah, it's never fun when you have to deal with that shit. But it is also, you know, 2 weeks out of the year, which I would imagine would bring in a ton of revenue for the fucking town and for the city, which benefits all of you in the long run. So yeah, I think you can suck it up for 2 weeks out of the, you know, 52 that exists in a fucking calendar year. So I did like the way that the directors went ahead and presented that, because you're getting, you know, the yin and the yang in terms of the people who want this to be a thing and support it versus those who don't. I also really enjoy, there's also this, there's this woman in the movie who is a dance choreographer, and she's talking about how there's a big parade that the town goes ahead and throws, and kind of how her own personal journey relates to the parade in terms of like the choreography and the dancing itself. I really like the way they did that. I wish we got some more time with her, because I was really liking her story. I mean, you get enough to be connected to it and engage with it, but I thought there's definitely more meat on the bone, and I was a little bummed we didn't get more with her. But with that said, as I kind of start to wrap up here, this was a really just fun documentary. I just had fun with this at the end of the day. There is this whole point where they're talking about the town, and in terms of not just what it means financially, but like the soul of the town, and like the origins of the town, and how you deal with outsiders. They straight up have their own little like radio station, and it's very NPR. Like, as soon as you hear the guy's voice, I was like, oh my God, I could be listening to NPR right now. I'd probably listen to the radio station just because of how pleasant their voices are. There is just a charm to this documentary, and the town, obviously, and its inhabitants lend tremendously to that view. But at the same time, I think my big surprise were the people who were involved in said documentary, and the fact that there were multiple people I was able to go ahead and get invested in. The Queen of Halloween Town obviously being the top. Oh, pardon me for me. Still waking up, y'all. But I will say, to the last 30 seconds of this documentary, I could not shake my head enough, and I will just leave it at that. But as far as a grade for this is a solid B. This is a really fun doc. It's like 90 minutes, so it's a quick watch too. But I think you'll be informed. I think you'll be entertained. I think you'll have fun with this. So yeah, I give this a solid B for the Spirit of Halloween Town. But yeah, y'all, you can actually check this out on VOD. You can check it out on Apple TV, Amazon Prime Video, to name a few spots. Speaking of places to check things out, go ahead and check out The Real Pineapple. Pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, to name a few. You can go ahead and follow yours truly on YouTube at The Real Pineapple. Just search the REEL Pineapple. You can follow your boy on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheRealPineapple. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at jhunterreelpineapple. That's jhunter and then REEL and then pineapple. And you can follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social, and like my pages on Facebook. Go ahead and at the Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. What else? Yeah, I think that's everything. But gonna have more reviews coming down the pipeline for y'all here soon. I wanted to get to Sinners before Halloween. It just didn't work out. So Sinners will probably be first week of November. But getting caught up on all the reviews here. So I'm gonna have reviews come up soon for Edgerton, Friendship, Highest to Lowest, just to name a few. So I'm real excited to go ahead and get some reviews out for y'all here soon. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Please stay safe if you go out again tonight. Happy Halloween. Give someone a hug. Give someone a compliment. We got all use some more positivity. Again, please remember it is cheaper to go ahead and call an Uber than to get a DUI. DUIs are expensive. Plus, you could hurt someone. So please, oh please, make sure you make plans accordingly. But again, happy Halloween, y'all. And never forget, as always, to keep it real.